A few of my subscribers are saying that I didn't give Joyce enough credit for getting rid of Ian Lewison in quicker time than Dillian Whyte did, especially given the fact that Joyce fought Ian Lewison in his pro debut, whereas Dillian Whyte fought Ian Lewison in what, his 15th or 20th fight, something like that. So I should have at least mentioned that fact. That's fair criticism. I take that on board, definitely. I didn't mention the fact that he got rid of Lewison quicker than Dillian Whyte did. And he has to be commended for that, again, particularly as he fought Ian Lewison on his pro debut. However, I think the way the fight played out against Joyce, you know, Ian Lewison versus Joyce, the way that fight played out compared to the way the Dillian Whyte-Lewison fight played out, a lot of that had to do with Lewison's approach. Not just the fact that Joyce was very active and he did certain things which made it difficult for Lewison, but also Lewison's approach. Because if you look at the Ian Lewison-Dillian Whyte fight, Lewison paced himself a lot better in the Dillian Whyte fight. He didn't just come out all guns blazing. He tried to box his way into the fight. And Dillian Whyte was on the back foot and he was using a jab and body shots here and there. It was a slower paced fight. And again, that was partly down to the fact that Ian Lewison decided to start slower. Whereas against Joyce, he really sold out in the first couple of rounds. He came out throwing haymakers, hoping to land a bomb on Joyce's chin and knock him out. And he emptied the gas tank very quickly. And after that, he was pretty much a sitting duck for whatever Joyce wanted to do to him. So, yeah, the tactics of Ian Lewison, I think, contributed to him being stopped earlier by Joyce than he was by Dillian Whyte, in my view. You know, again, not taking anything away from Joyce, he still did a good job. According to Ismail Salas, I think he said Ian Lewison had a broken jaw and a busted ankle and, you know, all this other kind of stuff, broken nose. So Joyce obviously managed to do damage, but as I say, because Lewison gassed himself out so early, punched himself out so early, he made himself a sitting duck for the rest of the fight and therefore sustained a hell of a lot of damage. So, and again, it's like I said in the post-fight video, I'm not writing Joyce off because as novice as his technique looks, somehow he's effective with it. You know, I'll be damned if I can explain to you how somebody who looks that novice can be as effective as he is. But he is. People talk about Deontay Wilder looking sloppy. Deontay Wilder looks like Pernell Whitaker compared to Joyce in terms of technique. That's how primitive Joyce's technique appears to be. You know, he just looks so novice, it's unbelievable, but you know, somehow he makes it work. So I'm not discounting the possibility that he'll make it work for him in the pro game too. It was enough to get past Lewison, which is a tough opponent for your pro debut. Let's see how far he can go with it. They were talking about Lenroy Thomas, Dave Allen winner for Joyce's next fight. But that doesn't seem to be on the table at the moment. I think what they're talking about now, they've switched it up a little bit. They're now talking about Sam Sexton maybe for the British title in Joyce's second fight. And that'd be great. Great achievement to win a British title in your second fight. And that's a winnable fight against Sam Sexton, I think. Sexton coming off a good win, obviously, against Gary Cornish. And a long time out of the ring. If they offer him enough money, he'll probably take the fight. But if they don't offer him enough money, he'll probably look to go elsewhere, you know, maybe defend his British title a few times, win it outright. Sexton knows what he is. He knows he's a British level fighter. And so he'll be very proud to win that Lonsdale belt outright. He'll want to have the opportunity to do it. And it's going to take a lot of money, I think, to persuade him to take on somebody as difficult as Joyce for his first defense of the British title. We'll see what happens. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about everything I've said in this video. All right, it's Hatman, I'm out.